some football of a different continental flavour, and if the Ivory Coast want to continue their time as kings of African football, they'll have to get past the likes of Morocco and Congo at next year's African Cup of Nations. Here's Lance Santos on the ones to watch from this week's draw in the host nation Gabon.
African football is getting ready for the continent's flagship football tournament next year, the African Cup of Nations. The draw that took place in Gabon, a country that will host the tournament for only the second time in the competition's history, was the place to be to show off the best 16 national teams of Africa promising to put on a show. In the first group, the host's most famous opponent is Cameroon. Burkina Faso and Guinea-Bissau are also in the same group, but probably won't find a place in the next round.
This is the group with Gabon, so it's not easy when you're in the group with the host nation.
Group B is without a doubt the strongest one. Traditional powerhouses of the African football like Algeria, Tunisia and Senegal will fight for the first two spots of the group. The fourth team, Zimbabwe, well, they'll just be fighting for their honour. Group C is similar to Group A. Two strong teams, the Ivory Coast and Morocco, look like the favourites. DR Congo and Togo will try to sneak into one of the two top spots, but their task isn't going to be easy.
If I had to say some of the teams I was hoping to avoid before the draw, I would have said some of those in our group.
Finally, there's Group D. Egypt seems to have the pole position in this one. Ghana and Mali follow them closely. And then there's Uganda, just happy to be there. The tournament will be played from January the 14th to February the 5th. Each group will be hosted in a different city. The big final will be hosted in Gabon's capital, Libreville.
Now, for the biggest tournament in African football, we need to know who to watch out for. So let's head over to Abuja, Nigeria, to speak to Arafat Eliu. Thank you very much for joining us on Beyond the Game. Now, as we saw from the draw, the defending champions, Ivory Coast, are going to be up against their former boss when they meet. Morocco now, Renal, is aiming for a hat-trick of victories. But can he actually do that with Morocco?
Well, thank you very much. I think it will be very difficult. Every country that has come to the Nations Cup this year wants to get a result, and everyone wants to beat the defending champion. Even Hervé Renard would admit that his knowledge of the players in Ivory Coast does not guarantee him a chance to go over the lush elephants. But it's open for anyone. It's open for Morocco, it's open for Togo, and I don't see Hervé Renard making the treble.
That's a very diplomatic answer. I mean, if you had to pick a particular team, who would you say, you know what, I'm going to put my money on them because I know what they're about and they're actually going to get the title?
Actually, two teams I have in mind that I think they'll be very hungry for the title. Egypt, the Pharaohs of Egypt, you know, they stopped my country, Nigeria, from going. They have not been there for a very long while now, and that could trigger their hunger to get the title. And another team that you should look out for will be Senegal. Senegal has a young, talented side that perhaps is led by Liverpool's talisman in the person of Sadio Mane. And I think they have a clear chance to get the title.
Well, when it comes to Egypt, when it comes to Egypt, do you think that they can be a dominant force again? I mean, they've won the title 7 times. They're the most successful African team. Can they get back up there again?
Well, I think they can because the team they have presently is young and they have a lot of experience going for them. What basically is working for the Egyptians, I think, is just hunger. They haven't been there for close to a decade. They want to make a name. They want to come back, just like the way that Nigeria did in 2013. And I think the hunger to get that glory days back for Egypt will be what will be driving the team. And if you take a close look at the squad, they have a young squad that can really deliver the title if they so desire to get it.
Okay, well, what about Ghana? They're always the bridesmaids, never the bride. I mean, can they actually get their hands? Can they actually be the champions of this tournament? They came so close last time in the final against the Ivory Coast.
Well, I don't think they can because presently the Ghanaian football is undergoing political turbulence. If you watch their last game at home against Uganda, they could barely create chances. And it tells you that the problem they have back at home with the sports ministry and the Ghana FA is really affecting the team. What's his name? The former Chelsea coach is not having it easy with the Black Stars. Except they get their acts together, perhaps they can have a chance, but I don't see them exceeding the quarterfinals of the tournament.
Ooh, tough words. All right, Arafat, thank you very much for joining us. Still to come.